What's going on, guys? Tony Perez here. Super excited for what we have releasing for you guys with this ISMG TV channel. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for what we have in store, guys. I have some very significant individuals next to me. I'm going to let them introduce themselves as well, starting with the man himself.
Hi, I'm the man himself.
We're shooting an intro, bro. What's going on, guys? Tony Perez here, guys. We're super excited for what we're releasing and launching this new ISMG TV channel. Guys, we have a lot of significant information that we're going to be releasing, and I have some very successful individuals next to me that I'm going to introduce you guys to, and just kind of give you guys an insight of what's coming and what to stay What's going on, guys? Hey, it's Tony Perez here. We're just joking, man. We tried shooting this intro video, probably 1,000 takes, right? Nothing really worked. What we realized was that that's not what we're trying to do. That's totally the opposite of what we're doing with this channel. We're going to be giving you guys real, live, raw, uncut footage of the background. What goes on in the back end of building a successful business, the road to success. And our goal of this was to create a channel and an outlet that can expose the reality, expose our success, expose the normal and what it takes to be successful as well. And that's just it. We're some regular individuals, guys, just like everyone else. There's nothing significant. There's no luck, no skill, no special talent. None of us come from significant backgrounds or successful families. We all kind of just started from the bottom, and that's how we kind of created the partnerships and the friendships that we gained, and it allowed us to get here. And our goal is kind of just to do what everyone else isn't doing, right? Instead of showing the highlight reel like John mentioned, we want to give you guys just the reality of it, the ups, the downs, the L's with the W's, and that's what we're here for. So we're excited for that. We know you guys are going to take a lot of content, a lot of good information from that, and if you guys apply just a quarter of it, we know what that could do for your lives because we know what it did for ours. So like I said, Tony Perez here. I'm super excited. Make sure you subscribe to that channel.
Yeah, I think that 90% of anything is really just showing up, right? 90% mental, 10% physical, right? So if you just show up and you do what you should be doing, which I think that everybody knows what they should be doing to become better, right? Then you're going to get there, right? So what we're going to do is show you what we actually do so you can, take what you like and, throw away what you don't like. But as my mentors always shared with me, if you want what successful people have, just do as they do. So we're actually going to show you what we do day to day. It's not going to be pretty all the time, but we will share with you our DMO.
There's a lot of times where people just show nothing but the good side of things. We are living proof at this point that there's a grind that goes into whatever business that you're trying to start, and it's not attractive. I think the word entrepreneur itself is just something that just seems like a sexy kind of thing to be, and it's like the opposite of sexy, and it takes sacrifice on all levels, and you don't really quite get that until you're in the shit itself. So it's all just words and you just hear people talking, and that's how I was, but really now being living proof of it, it's just something we could speak about and show people the actual true side of things of what it takes to be able to be successful no matter what your definition is or what industry or what facet of your life you want to apply it to.
So what do you guys think some of the things is, what do you think the reason why a lot of entrepreneurs don't do that? Why do you think people aren't showing this side of
They think there's a secret
industry?
sauce to everything. They buy into the gurus that are selling you their course. Hey, I'm the guru of this, industry. I'm the guru of that. Buy into this and you'll get X, Y, Z. The reality is, if you, like I said earlier, if you show up day to day, you make a list and you execute on those things, you'll get a lot farther just by doing that. Get yourself out of the way, right? Don't have the fear of loud noises, the fear of other people's opinions, the fear of success, and the fear of failure. We hold each other accountable in that way just by showing up, right? So even us having this video, this vlog or this channel, it's almost a way for us to even be more self-accountable, right? Because we're telling you, hey, we're going to do this channel, right? So now we have to perform. We have to step up. We have to make sure we have the video guy. We have to make sure that we're editing the videos. We have to make sure that we have content, right? But we want to hold you accountable, and by doing so, it's also holding us accountable. But these are the things that we do day in and day out, right? So I think there's a lot that really goes into, like Fareed said, being an entrepreneur. But if you want to be it, just show up, be present, take notes, be a student again, and don't be afraid to try and apply.
It's kind of a combination of factors, really. One, I think, first of all, that side sucks. It's not attractive. You know, when you're in the shit, when you're in the grind itself, you don't even know if things are working out. You don't know if things are playing out into your future, into your favor, and all that good stuff. So you don't really know. It's kind of like uncertainty. You feel like a failure. I mean, true or not true. Most times, how many times did we sit up in the first year of this business, just stay all night at the office ordering, whatever food we could afford to eat, and it's like people don't necessarily want to see that, and it's not what like entrepreneurship is like portrayed to be. It's always like the nice cars, the material things, this and that, and going out and having that lifestyle. But really working up to that point is what's everything. And you hear it. It's like we grew up in an industry where we would hear all the right things, but you never really believe it till you actually go through it. And it's crazy how things work out, because one day you just wake up and it's like things are starting to roll for you after like failed attempt, and then it's like things are just working out, and then kind of realize it's just how things go, and that's how life works.
Yeah.
Like we just find ourselves like, oh, it's actually working.
So you think it stems from fear that entrepreneurs are not doing that because they fear that if they show their followers or their friends or their peers that they took an L or they're going through a rough time in their business, that they're going to lose some kind of credibility? And do you think that's a valid reason? Do you think they do lose credibility?
I think it's two parts. It's one part is you do lose credibility, but really, actuality, I think you actually gain it. But in the second part of that is also that you're kind of showing people, the blueprint, and there's not too many people out there who want other people to come up. They just say it.
People are fear competition.
They say, "Oh, I want you to do good," but they're really not better than me. And I don't know. You can't see like what it took to get to this level, right?
Did you read a meme?
No, I mean. A little bit, yeah. I'm looking at my phone right here.
I posted that yesterday.
Yeah, I'm reading it. Trying to make it seem. Am I doing it natural? Am I doing good here?
You're reading my lines now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But also, I just want to make sure that people know that we're being real.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be like scripted.
No, I agree.
We have fun too.
Yeah, guys, and I think that's the biggest thing. I think one thing that we realize is that we've all came from a similar background with network marketing in the network marketing industry, but I think the biggest thing for us was taking that skill set that we learned in the network marketing industry, applying it to traditional business, and dominating that space as well, to where we realized, okay, we dominated both spaces. Now we realize it's not even us anymore. It's the skill set that was developed, that's kind of instilled into us, that now it's just second nature to us to kind of, repeat that pattern. And I think for us, I think that's one of the biggest things, at least for me, one of the real reasons why I wanted to create this channel and make it to where it was different than norm is because, there's not a fear. I don't have a fear of someone else's success. I don't have a fear of competition because I'm confident in my skill set. I'm confident in what I can do. So I know that even if you come and open up a store across the street, does that complicate things? Of course it does, but that doesn't take away from what you do know. You know what I mean? If we know the skill, we know how to get to where we're going. Why would it matter how many other people do that? So do you think, when I'm saying that...
Most people don't have that confidence, right? So let's say somebody doesn't have that confidence. So like you're saying, I have that confidence, I don't have that fear. Why is it that you have that confidence? Where does that stem from?
I think it's because for me at least, I think it's safe to say that I've identified or realized that that skill in me is my second nature. For a long time, I couldn't understand why I was winning in those things, but then I realized it's because I learned that set of skills, So once you learn, it's like learning how to walk, right? When we're babies, we focus on trying to walk, we suck at it. We fall, we tumble, we hit ourselves, we cry, but we keep on trying, then we master walking. We don't look at it today and be like, like if someone's walking, it's going to threaten our... No, walking, we don't even think about it. It's in us. It's who we are. We know how to walk, right? And I think for us, I've applied my skill set that I've learned from network marketing so many times in so many days over the last 10 years of my entrepreneurial career that it just became second nature to me. So what I do, I guess for me, I don't even realize it anymore. It's just who I am, right? So that makes me think now, as I'm saying that, is it too that these entrepreneurs, a lot of them that are successful that are scared to show that, is that fear? Is it because maybe they don't realize that yet, or is it maybe because they don't know how they got to where they're going or where they're at? Some of these guys, we know some leaders that, maybe capitalize on timing and positioning, and, they got themselves to a position where, they have the title, but they don't necessarily have the skill set that the title carries or that requires So sometimes we've seen when that wave of momentum fades, you know, because we could agree everybody can have a wave of momentum and success in
You get
business.
lucky.
Yeah, right. You know, you have a business that comes, it's new, people are going to try it out, but after that is when the skill set needs to show up and really, you know, when it takes the entrepreneur to really do what he knows how to do. And if he can't, then you know that's it. So I'm wondering, is that fear coming from, you know, people, they don't even know how they got there, so they're kind of just
Yeah.
enjoying the moment of success.
That's true, man. I feel like I could have identified with that a while ago. I think when we get to the point where you actually you make something out of nothing, I think that's the biggest you know change in everything. Because I've had other businesses where I was making money, but it wasn't necessarily like it wasn't something I created. Kind of rode that wave or was time in position. I got lucky at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like an unsettling feeling because you're just like, you know, like anyone can technically have done what I did. I just got lucky.
But you're
But
still
then-
enjoying it.
Yeah, for sure. And you don't want it to go away.
Yeah.
But eventually life humbles you, right?
Yeah.
Then you create something out of nothing. Now, right now, I feel like we take this concept right now, explain it to all our competition, and then you wouldn't even put the work in to compete with us. Plus, on top of that, you could probably drop me out of a plane anywhere and recreate this wherever we wanted to and make it as big as we wanted.
That's true.
So I guess it comes from confidence, but you also, you know, you actually manufacture that yourself. It doesn't come from like reading books or, you know, having a mentor or anything like that. Just going through,
Repetition.
walking through the
Yeah,
fire.
exactly. Yeah. So let me ask you this too: is, you know, as far as leaders feeling that they will lose credibility from showing their L's and exposing their L's, do you put that? I mean, the reality is that's somewhat true, right? I mean, we could agree that people, you know, when you're successful, it's like they have their idea of what success looks like, and anything that looks different. I mean, we see it all the time with celebrities. You know, even when people going around spreading saying 50 Cent is broke, you know, all these people are bankrupt, they're broke. It's like, you know, it's like, and a lot of those guys are broke or are saying that, right? So it's almost true. Like, do these leaders have the right? I mean, who is that on? Is that on the leader or is it on the people? They're the masses' fault that, you know, they have that perception of. If someone makes a mistake and they show that they're normal, it's almost like people kind of like attack them for it and exploit them. Do you think that what comes first, the leader exploiting themselves so that the people can feel comfortable, realize, and having that ability to relate to that person? Or, because I feel like that's what we're creating this channel for, is so that people can see like, hey, yes, I believe there's going to be people out there that are going to expose, that are not going to expose us because we're going to expose ourselves, and the L's we take because we're normal, we're humans, right? We go through winners just like anyone else. But there's going to be people out there that try to use any mistakes we make, any flaws we have against us, and use that as a negative, right? So, you know, I think that's something that I think we're definitely going to have to address when it comes. But, you know, I think that's what we're excited. I think we're all confident here that we're not going to let that stop us. And hopefully this can inspire other entrepreneurs out there to kind of show through the same thing, because I think that what holds people back from, you know, either entrepreneurial career or, you know, keep them from quitting is that, you know, they have this idea of the highlight reel, as I said, and the minute they fall off that highlight reel and theirs kind of goes sour, then they give up because they feel like, well, you know, if I was successful, I'd be like that person. And it's like, my life isn't all flowers and money and just success. Like, here I am, I hit a wall, you know, I got to give up and I curve. So, you know, hopefully this will inspire others to do that, because I feel like if we can give the masses ability to feel like they can relate to us, which they can't. That's the reality, right? Like, how many successful people you've met, we were just talking about the other day, you know, a billionaire that we've met, all of us, and it's like, you know, when you sit down and have a conversation with them, you kind of realize he's just like us. I mean, the only difference is, I guess, his mentality, right?
Mentality and time.
Yeah, so I want to just sum it up because you both said something. So you talked about your confidence. You talked about your story on, you know, how taking something from nothing to something gave you confidence. I think part of this series is to, one, give you confidence, but you also talked about failure, right? We want to give you confidence knowing that you possibly can fail. And even though you can fail, that won't take away that confidence. What I mean by that, we're doing this video. If we fail, none of us are going to think that we are less confident, right? But we're going to do it anyway, right? And that's how you have to pursue entrepreneurship or whatever it is that you are a part of. And that's going to be a big part of the value that we actually deliver, right?
So in other words, we're going to give you confidence not just through
To
your
be willing-
success, but through your failures as well.
Correct.
That's pretty powerful right there. That's huge because I think that's a lot of, and we see that all the time. People are quick to boast their W. That's almost aligns with exactly what we're saying. Yeah, people are always quick to show that, but they lose their confidence when they have a failure. And the reality is, if you're going to be successful, and I think, Fareed kind of pointed this out, I think we've all have our war stories, which, we'll be sharing in the future. But if you're going to be successful, it's not going to be a straight line. It's going to be on a roller coaster. So if you're not willing to go to that roller coaster, and if you're going to quit when the roller coaster goes down, then it's guaranteed you're just never going to go up, right? So we got to teach some people how to be confident in their failures, because we know as entrepreneurs that failure is a part of the process of success. And two, we know that if you could just fight through it, then eventually on the other end of failure is success. And I think that's such a simple concept, but I think that's so major that we really have to, instill in people, because it's easy to say it and read it and be like, oh yeah, it makes sense. It's another story to live it and believe in it, and if you believe in it to your core, I think that's what will allow you to kind of have those breakthroughs and get to the other side. And I think that we all had our moments where we wanted to quit, quit something or quit a business or quit being an entrepreneur, maybe even consider getting a job, or whatever it may be. And, we haven't, because, we had that little bit of confidence left where we knew what we can do.
I wanted to quit twice since you started that sentence.
Yeah, see?
Huh.
I wanted you to quit 3 times.
Yeah.
This is a sentence. I think the purpose of the sentence was for you to quit.
That's what I want.
Yeah, there you go. I like it.
No, but most times people don't even feel the failure itself anyway. They feel the perception of the failure.
Yeah.
You're saying,
The idea.
I think that people are going to point the finger, yada yada. But in reality, they're in their own head, and they're creating this perception of failure, which is what they're really fearing, not the failure itself. So, yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say to the entrepreneur out there that might be watching this, that maybe he's at that stage in his life where it's like I guess there's unbalance of, undecided, where, can I do this? Maybe he might be a real estate agent who's been in real estate for his first year, still hasn't sold his first house, he's having to pay that yearly fee, and he's probably just going back and forth with himself of, do I, is this for me? Maybe this isn't for me. I haven't sold a house.
There's always a person with less resources that's producing more than you, so you have to know that, right?
Yeah.
And just borrow somebody else's story until you create your own, right? That's how we've got here, right?
Yeah.
We borrowed somebody else's story until we created the confidence to go out there and fail and fail and fail and fail and fail, and that's how we built all the companies and businesses that we've been a part of. So I would say it's that.
What about you?
How deep do you want to go in this?
Long intro video.
Yeah.
Cut.
It really depends how deep you want to go into this, but I can tell you there could be you just don't want it bad enough at the end of the day. That's all it is. And that takes so much goes into that. Like people sit there and say they want this, and this, but really you just don't. You don't want it that bad. Case in point, right? If you knew you had, let's go. You brought a real estate agent, right? Let's just say you had to make 50 contacts in order to get like one listing. Let's just say, hypothetically, right? Right? What's stopping you from making those 50 contacts, right? Are you overthinking? Are you thinking about the rejection? Are you thinking about, oh man, 49 of these people are gonna be duds and they're gonna talk shit to me? They're gonna do this. I'm gonna want to quit by the third one. That's really all bullshit. Now you take that same concept. I say, you know what, John? You need this listing, right? You want to get a listing done by today. You need to talk to 50 people, right? But you're just not doing it now. I put a gun to your head, and I tell you have to talk to 50 people by the end of the day. Are you going to talk to 50 people?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. You just don't want it bad enough. Someone has to come put a gun to your head in order to do it. No, put the proverbial gun to your own head, and say, I got to get it done, right? If your kids can't eat, or whatever it is, your family doesn't survive. You won't sleep under a roof that night. You're going to get it done. You just don't want it. You just don't want it bad enough.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
So for clarification, you're not telling people out there to put the gun to their actual head. You're saying,
I guess
use it as a term.
Technically on this platform we're using right now, we have to be we should have our counsel look at all these videos before we send it out.
I'm assuming our crowd is going to be 18 and up
Yeah.
as well, because you're cursing a lot.
Yes. Absolutely. I hope so.
Yeah, and I would say, I think for me, it's really like if there's one, to that, whether, again, like I referenced the realtor just because, it's a tough industry to be in. But sales is tough, no matter what, right?
Everything's tough.
But everything is tough, right? Everything's tough until you try it and go through the hurdles of mastering it. And I would just say to that individual, if you remove quitting from the options and possibilities and your choices, then the only other choice and end result you leave yourself with is resolution and solving that problem. So, that's one of my biggest things. I kind of preach this all the time is, when we're babies, and I'm going to reference this often, when we're babies and we're trying to walk, quitting is not even, we don't even know what quitting is. So it's not even a possibility for us. So we're kind of just, being persistent on our journey of trying to learn how to walk, right? So, we keep going and keep going and keep going until eventually we get it, and we don't stop. There's no expiration date on our success of walking. Imagine if we put the same expiration date on our ability to walk that some of us put on, our ability to close our first deal in sales, or speak in front of a room, whatever it may be. So, if that's you out there, and you're back and forth teeter-totting on the idea of quitting or pursuing and being persistent, I'll tell you this, quitting is your definite answer. You know what that leads to. But if you persist and you just keep going and keep going and keep going and remove quitting, you will find we are the most resourceful things in this planet, right? As humans, you will find a solution to reach success. So, I think that's pretty much it, guys. I think they were able to take a golden nugget from each of us. I'm excited. I'm excited to have you guys here. Excited for what we're gonna do. And guys, if you got any good content, even just from this intro, guys, again, hopefully we're just showing you guys the reality of things, right? Drop a comment, drop a like, share this video with some other inspiring entrepreneurs that you may know, and look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode.